Students, today we will discuss foreign exchange exposure management. Foreign exchange exposure management is a set of systematic efforts of recognizing the exposure at appropriate time, measurement of exposure, and initiating the steps and strategies to minimize the exposure through internal and external techniques. Now, before discussing foreign exchange exposure management, we will discuss different views in favor or against foreign exchange exposure management. There are some views who says there is no need for hedging the foreign exchange exposure. Like Duffy and Shri Nivasulu pointed out that foreign exchange risk does not exist. Even if it exists, it need not to be hedged. Even if it is to be hedged, corporations need not hedge it. Reasons: exchange rate, interest rates, and inflation rates are linked to one another, as we have seen in four-way equivalence model. It is experienced that exchange rate mirror changes in relative price levels in two different countries. Given sufficient time, competitive forces and the process of arbitrage will neutralize the impact of exchange rate changes on the return of assets and value of firm. That is why firms need not to bother about foreign exchange exposure. There are some arguments in favor of hedging foreign exchange exposure. As G.V. Rao, anything that costs money to remedy or that does not compel attention gets overlooked unless it grows into a disaster. Risk management function, if neglected, do not immediately threaten the performance of an enterprise unless a disaster strikes. As per Levy and Sarkue, stresses that because of imperfection in various markets, hedging may increase future cash flows by avoiding or reducing the financial distress. Capel argues that financial hedging may be used to buy time for adjustment in real sphere. Now we will discuss objectives of foreign exchange exposure management. As per Bradford Cornell and Ellen C. Shapiro, the principal exposure management goal of financial executive should be to arrange their firm's financial affairs in such a way as to minimize the real effects of exchange rate changes, subject to the cost of such rearrangements. Now here are few objectives of foreign exchange exposure management. To identify various types of foreign exchange exposures, to assess the impact of exchange rate fluctuations on the balance sheet of the company, to minimize foreign exchange exposure, to manage assets and liabilities sensitive to exchange rate fluctuations, to reduce variability of translated earnings, to get protection against adverse happenings, to assess the effectiveness of various exposure management strategies, to develop a strategy suitable to the company for hedging its various exposures, to buy a currency when it is cheapest and to sell it when it is costliest. Here are few factors for consideration. First is war. How much the profit or loss does the company makes if exchange rate actually moves? It is a matter of consideration. How much companies underlying cash flows are affected by exchange rate fluctuations. Second is forecast risk. What is the likelihood of a forecast going right or wrong? Next is market risk. Market risk is the risk attached with each particular market and likelihood of a transaction not going through smoothly. Next is system risk. System risk is the risk that arises through gaps, that is reporting gap and implementation gap or weakness in exposure management. Now we will discuss steps in foreign exchange exposure management. Identification of exposure, measurement of foreign exchange exposure, developing foreign exchange exposure management policy, designing corporate philosophy, developing hedging strategy. Then, evaluation of various foreign exchange exposure management strategies. After the evaluation, company selects the suitable foreign exchange exposure management strategy. Then company implements the foreign exchange exposure management strategy. But after the implementation, it is required to continuously monitor the functioning of exposure management system. And remedial actions are necessary if required. First is identification of exposure. Company should make efforts to identify the areas of effect of exchange rate fluctuations. With the help of past experiences, company should try to identify the nature of exposure in its company. It can be transaction exposure, it can be economic exposure, or it can be translation exposure. According to the nature of the exposure, company can take the decision whether to hedge or not to hedge, which strategy to follow and which strategy not to follow. Next is measurement of foreign exchange exposure. An enterprise begins with measuring its exposure to risk, that is, the amount or the value which is at risk of foreign exchange fluctuations. VAR can be identified as maximum loss on a portfolio over a standardized period of time, usually a day, that would result from an adverse market movement expected to occur once in a longer period of time, usually 100 days, with confidence interval usually 99%. VAR can be seen as estimated change from the present price of an instrument or a portfolio until the point at which it is being liquidated. It indicates the risk across many financial instruments and markets on a firm-wide level. Price data relating to the components of portfolio are collected for a chosen observation period. Volatility or standard deviation of asset prices and correlation between asset prices movement are calculated. In other words, it enables management to calculate the likely currency denominated maximum loss for a certain period of time. And the figure is expressed in terms of a confidence level. Next is developing foreign exchange exposure management policy. MNC should have a foreign exchange policy which spell out exactly what should be done with the foreign exchange risk when they face. At a minimum, these policies should identify the risk tolerance of the board of directors and should clearly define the line of authority and responsibility for managing risk of these activities. Next is designing corporate philosophy for foreign exchange exposure. The objective of risk management can be minimizing cost, maximizing revenue, or stabilizing margin in future. It also affects the hedging strategy of the company. A general policy is high risk, high return. Strengths and weaknesses of firm in terms of finance, production, marketing, human resource and nature of business also affects its strategy to deal with threats and enjoy opportunities offered by the external environment. Developing hedging strategy. Hedging a particular currency exposure means establishing an offsetting currency position in such a way that whatever is lost or gained on original currency exposure is exactly offset by a corresponding foreign exchange gain or loss on currency hedge. Volatile foreign earnings can cause volatile growth, which is more costly than slow, stable growth. Hedging can reduce the company's volatility of cash flows because the company's payment and receipts are not forced to fluctuate in accordance with currency movements. This can, in extreme, reduce the possibility of bankruptcy and therefore allow easier access to credit and lower interest payments due to lower perceived risk. Hedging should allow for greater certainty about future receipts and payments and consequently enhanced budgetary decisions. Most hedging strategies are costly in terms of fee, premiums, or time involved. Golden rules for hedging with derivatives. If a company is quite certain that currency will move favorably or remain same, company should not go for hedging with derivatives. Whereas if a company is quite certain that currency will move adversely, it should go for forward covers. If a company is unsure of currency movements, it should go for option contracts. Basic strategy for translation exposure. Basic hedging strategy for reducing translation exposure is to increase hard currency assets and decrease soft currency assets while simultaneously decreasing hard currency liabilities and increasing soft currency liability. It can be done by adjusting cash flows, entering into forward contracts, or exposure netting. Hard currencies are those currencies whose value is likely to appreciate, whereas soft currencies are those currencies whose value is likely to depreciate. Increase hard currency assets, for example, increase dollar denominated receivables since dollar is being considered as a hard currency. Decrease hard currency debts. Decrease soft currency assets. Increase soft currency debts. Basic strategy for foreign exchange exposure. There can be two situations: home currency depreciation and home currency appreciation. In case of home currency depreciation, it can sell currency forward, whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can buy currency forward. In case of home currency depreciation, it can reduce levels of local currency cash and marketable securities. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can increase the level of local currency cash and marketable securities. In case of home currency depreciation, the firm can tighten its credit. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can relax local currency credit terms. In case of home currency depreciation, it can delay the collections of hard currency receivables. In case of home currency appreciation, it can speed up collection of hard currency receivables. Next is, in case of home currency depreciation, it can increase import of hard currency goods. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can reduce import of hard currency goods. In case of home currency depreciation, it can borrow locally. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can reduce local borrowings. In case of home currency depreciation, it can delay payment of accounts payable, whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can speed up the payment of accounts payable. In case of home currency depreciation, it can speed up dividend and fee remittance to parent and subsidiary units, whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can delay dividend and fee remittance to parent and other subsidiary units. In case of home currency depreciation, it can speed up payment of inter-subsidiary accounts payables. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can delay the payment of inter-subsidiary accounts payables. In case of home currency depreciation, it can delay collection of inter-subsidiary accounts receivables. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can speed up collection of inter-subsidiary accounts receivables. In case of home currency depreciation, it can invoice exports in foreign currency and imports in local currency. Whereas in case of home currency appreciation, it can invoice both its exports and imports in foreign currency, take the benefit of international competitiveness. Techniques for foreign exchange exposure management. There are two types of techniques: real techniques and financial techniques. Real techniques includes reallocation of resources, which is suited for operating exposure and long-term decisions. Whereas financial techniques include using financial hedging instruments, which is suited for transaction exposure and operating exposure in short. This is a summary of techniques of foreign exchange exposure management. Real techniques includes restructuring production activity or marketing activity. It includes diversification of location of production, location of sales, input sources, sources of finance. On the other side, financial techniques includes use of currency derivatives, leading and lagging, balance sheet hedge, matching and netting, pricing decision, choice of currency invoicing, currency risk sharing, cross currency hedge. We will discuss these techniques in detail in next video. Thank you.